So, I know you can't see me very well at all. It is dark out here. I am actually in my River Country Trekker 2.2 tent in the backyard, testing it out. It's going to be 60-degree low tonight, so I figured this was the best time to start trying to test it, since it's been a lot warmer than that at night in New Orleans. It's so weird being out here with most of my gear that's arrived, because I can hear like the interstate, the cars, and my dog is actually doing really good. He came right into the tent. I didn't even have to have a treat. I climbed in and I turned around and held it open and said, "Come on in," and he was like, "Okay." Then he tried to get on my sleeping bag. No. So he's on a Thermarest sole pad, and he seems to be doing okay. He's, kind of turned around a few times. He's heard some things in our backyard. I don't know what he's looking at, but yeah, there's a lot of the interstate isn't that far. I-10 is not that far, and then kind of a major thoroughfare is just a couple blocks away. So I hear cars, no sirens or anything, but just whoosh, whoosh from the cars. But I think things are actually going pretty good. We fit in here very well. So I have a sleeping pad from Big Agnes. I've got a, I forget the name of the sleeping bag, actually. So the sleeping pad is from Big Agnes, and the only thing I heard about as far as reviews being an issue is it makes a lot of noise when you turn, and I do toss and turn at night, so I was, but I've turned over a couple times in this and it hasn't really made any noise, so I don't know whether some people have a different version or what. I have my Sierra Madre Hot Pocket out here, but I'm not gonna need it. It's being in this, I'm in a hike and bike, what's the name of this? Elos? Hold on, it's written here. It is written here, somewhere down here. Hike and bike Eolus, if that's how you say it. A hike and bike Eolus 15-degree down sleeping bag. So I don't need a Hot Pocket tonight, even though I wanted to test it out. So we'll try that a little bit later. So they're working together pretty good. His Thermarest pad, he's on it. He's doing okay. I have a down quilt for him in case it gets a little chilly, and I want to try to see if he'll let me put it on top of him. And then my pack is next to me, and yeah, so this would be everything that we'd have on our hike, and it all fits pretty good. I am worried a little bit about the things touching the wall, right? Because condensation, and if it's raining, which it does a lot in the Pacific Northwest, if it's raining and I have things touching the wall, is it going to make the moisture come through a little bit easier? So I guess I have to come and test it out in the rain sometime to see if that actually happens. Or maybe maybe when we're on the hike and it's not our first night in here, we'll be a little closer. We'll kind of all be in the center, and I won't be so spread out. I do have my iPad because I plan to read a little bit, and I've got a lantern in case some noise happens and I want to see what's going on. My husband is, I'm outside my bedroom window in our backyard, and he has the window open just in case I need him for anything, but he's already tried to scare me twice, and each time Titan has tried to run out of the screen, through the screen, to see what it is. So he's made noises like a lion and a bear, and he's like, "I'm just trying to check." He's ridiculous. Anyway, so that's all I have to report. We're in the tent. It went up really well. I have a video on that I'll be posting, and yeah, so I'll talk to you guys in the morning. Okay, so last night was successful. I learned a lot about the Trekker 2.2 from River Country. I think it will work. I was really worried because of some of the reviews, but I came into my backyard last night, set up everything, slept in here with my dog, with his equipment too. The only extra thing I won't have on the trail is a big lantern, but I wanted to see if I could take video last night. It was just too dark even with that lantern. I'm pleased with it. There was condensation. I can still see condensation on the outside of the bathtub part of the tent, like here. I can see that from the inside, but none of it ran down inside here because of this. So there's a mesh here, and the nylon on the outside is pulled by that rope, the rope attached there. So there's like a vent here, and so any condensation will run down that nylon to the ground instead of running in here, and then the mesh protects me from like bugs. And I didn't realize it was even condensation until I tried to get up, and I was like flailing around and I hit it, and I was like, there's water. So I'm happy about that. A couple things I gotta change. One, this came off a couple times, so either need to make it tighter or maybe not wear it. Maybe there's like a hook up there. There's a hook at the top of each peak at the end. Also, getting in and out's a pain, like a super pain, because I'm old and I'm on like, you have to crouch and then climb out and up while avoiding the trekker pole, which, you know, is probably just a function of a trekker pole tent. I've never been in a tent like this before. I've always had bigger tents where you can actually walk out, so I'll just have to get used to it. And as I build strength in my quads, it might not be as hard or as hard on my knees as it is right now. I've had 2 ACL surgeries, so, you know, crawling on the ground out of a tent is a little difficult. It feels like I'm gonna keel over. So one thing I know I need for my dog is this, because he's a Mastiff. And he kept turning around, and I was like, you're just gonna get slobber all over me and my sleeping bag. And of course, on our backpacking trip, that's gonna happen. But I can cut down on the amount of it by having a microfiber for him. So I'll make sure I have that. He did not stay, so this is his thing. This is his down quilt, and this is his Thermarest pad. He didn't stay on it. And he has laid on it in the house, and when he got in here, he laid on it for a little while, but then as the night went on, he just got closer and closer to me. So I don't know if that's a function of him being cold, or whether it's a function of him just being in the outdoors and hearing all the noises, or what. So the next time we do this, and there will be a next time in the backyard just because we need to practice, I'll put his it's not called Z-Light, I think it's called a Soul, his Thermarest pad, I'll put it much closer to me. He ended up like right here. So this pad was over there, and he was like almost on my sleeping pad. So to help him, you know, not be on the ground, because it was 60 degrees last night. So I was happy and toasty in my 15-degree sleeping bag from Hike and Bike. I don't know if you can see that. That's their logo. I have the Aeolus 15-degree down sleeping bag, and he has a down quilt and the Thermarest pad. I think that'll be sufficient. I hope it'll be sufficient for some nights where it'll get down to 45, 48 degrees in the Cascades. But I think I might need to think about getting him a layer that actually stays on his body, because he moves around a lot. He has also had an ACL surgery, so he probably just needs to kind of get comfortable at night. All right, so lessons learned. Keep working on my quads so I can get in and out of this tent. Think about getting Titan an actual like shirt or layer. Like I have an insulation layer. Maybe he needs one that is attached to his body since he moves around so much at night. Not tightly attached, but like something to wrap around him. hang this up so I don't misplace it at night, because it did fall off a couple times. I do like this beanie. It's lined in satin, so it's like nice for your hair. But it stayed on all night, and I feel like it'll be an extra like warmth layer. And oh, a lot of people talk about this Big Agnes Air AXL sleeping pad, like there's something wrong, like it makes too much noise. I don't think it made a lot of noise, but you know, and I turned and popped, so I mean, maybe other sleeping pads don't make this kind of noise. I don't know, because I've never been on a sleeping pad before. So it's a little bit of noise. It just sounds like an air mattress. I don't know what else you could do about that. It's a sleeping pad. What else? Oh, so lessons learned. I need to have Titan as close to me as possible, and I kind of need to be more in the middle anyway, because I'm like way over here, and I think my sleeping system is touching the side of the tent, which is kind of like a no-no. With nylon tents, you don't need to be touching the side. That helps the water get in. So yeah, I'm happy. I had heard a lot of bad like YouTube video reviews about the Trekker 2.2, and I mean, I'm gonna bring it out at a time when it's raining to see how well it holds up, but I'm looking at the seams. All of them are sealed. I mean, for a $50 tent that is not ultra lightweight, but it's lightweight enough, and it can fit me and my dog, or probably me and my husband, maybe with our gear in it. I think it's good for a beginner. Like if you want to drop weight later, as seems to be the trend when I'm listening to people, like as they, you know, become more experienced hikers, they drop weight, they change gear, they upgrade, and that could happen. It probably will happen, but you know, what if in a year I hate this, or what if my knees get worse and I don't want to continue? I don't want to spend $400 on a tent right away. I've already spent a ton of money on everything else, so I think I'm going to stick with the Trekker. I think I'm going to see how it holds up in the PNW rain and mist, and if in 6 months, even before my section hike, I decide to get something else, then I will. But I think for the next 6 months, at least until we're up there and I can actually test it in the mountains, or more than 6 months actually, because it's still going to be super cold up in the mountains for a while. Here in New Orleans, it's already hot. I woke up to 65-degree temperatures, but the sun is right there, and it is already getting super hot in this tent. It'll be dry very soon, and I can take it down, and then I can pack my new Gregory Maven 55 pack and set up my Garmin inReach to see how that will work. So that's all my updates for today. I'm excited, even though, oh, the other thing was, so I will say that when I woke up, my back hurt. Every time I woke up to turn over, it was because like my hip would feel funny or my back would feel funny, and I wasn't very comfortable, and I just think that's because I sleep in a bed all the time. And this isn't going to be like sleeping in a bed, but I think it's a lot better than just sleeping on the ground or me trying to sleep on a thermarest pad that doesn't inflate. So, I mean, as far as inflatable pads go, I think I'm going to stick with that. If you guys have any tips on how to make yourself as comfortable as possible without bringing, you know, I don't know, a memory foam topper, I would love to hear. Like, I'm a side sleeper, but maybe when I'm out, I need to try not to sleep on my side. Maybe I need to try to sleep on my back, maybe with my knees raised a little bit. So any tips you have, I will take them. I don't have like back problems, but when I woke up this morning, my back was not happy with me. My back was like, please stretch, please move around. And that may be just a function of me getting used to being in a tent on the ground on a sleeping pad. All right, so that's that. I like the Trucker 2.2. I'm keeping it. We'll see what happens when I actually test it backpacking and not in my backyard. But I'm happy with it so far. And I don't think that some of the reviews I saw apply to the 10 that I have right here. So that's it. My first night testing my gear in my backyard, it went well. I'm happy with everything I got, and I think I got enough stuff to do several different types of hikes, an overnight, a weekend, probably down to about 50 degrees. I think I'm fine. For the section hike, that's going to be probably a little bit colder at night. I need to figure out how to keep my dog a little warmer, because he also he gets cold really easy, and he's had 2 knee surgeries, so I want to make sure that he is comfortable. So thank you for tuning in at the beginning of me planning this adventure. Hit the like button, thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and please comment below if you have any advice about the equipment that you've heard me talk about. If you have any advice about, breaking your body into sleeping on the ground. If you have any advice about camping with a dog, backpacking with a dog, I'd love to hear it. All right, so have a great day.